Imagine this. You're in the middle of a conversation, and out of nowhere, someone throws an insult at you. Maybe it's a snide remark about your appearance, your intelligence, or even something deeply personal. Your heart beats faster, your mind races, and that primal urge to retaliate kicks in. But what if I told you that the most powerful response is no response at all? Welcome to the Stoic way of handling insults, a method that doesn't just help you maintain your dignity, but ensures that you come out victorious every single time. The Stoics, some of the wisest minds in history, mastered the art of emotional control and saw insults not as attacks, but as opportunities for self-discipline, wisdom, and strength. So today, I'll show you exactly how to react to an insult like a true Stoic and leave your opponents stunned by your unshakable composure. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The power of indifference. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is that you are in control of your own mind, but not of external events. Insults are external. They have no power over you unless you allow them to. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." What does this mean? It means that insults only hurt if you decide they do. If someone calls you stupid, it only affects you if you secretly fear it might be true. If you are confident in your intelligence, the insult becomes meaningless. Imagine a rock. If you throw words at it, does it react? No. That's the level of control a Stoic aims for. You don't need to argue, defend, or retaliate. Just let the words pass like the wind. How to apply this? Next time someone insults you, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, does this insult change who I am? If the answer is no, and it always is, then let it go. Lesson 2. Consider the source. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminded us that when someone insults you, they are revealing more about themselves than about you. He said, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know the truth." An insult is merely an opinion, often fueled by ignorance, jealousy, or insecurity. So before you let an insult affect you, consider, who is this person? Do they embody wisdom and virtue? Do they have authority over my character? If the answer is no, then their words are empty. How to apply this? The next time you're insulted, mentally step back and analyze the person. If they are bitter, negative, or ill-informed, why should their opinion carry any weight? Lesson 3. The ultimate power move. Agree and amplify. This is a technique used by many great thinkers, comedians, and debaters. When someone insults you, instead of getting defensive, agree with them, but take it even further. Seneca once said, "A wise man is untroubled by insults. He laughs at them." By owning the insult, you strip it of its power. Example, "You're such a loser." You have no idea. I've actually won multiple awards in losing. "You're so dumb." You're right. I spend half my day trying to remember where I left my brain. When you don't resist an insult, but instead embrace it humorously, the insulter loses their ammunition. They were expecting a reaction, anger, frustration, but instead, they get laughter and indifference. That is power. How to apply this? The next time someone tries to insult you, smile and agree in a way that makes their insult useless. Lesson 4. The art of silence. Silence is a Stoic's greatest weapon. When you respond to an insult with nothing but calmness, you make the insulter feel powerless. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, was once insulted in public. Instead of responding, he simply walked away, unmoved. His disciples later asked why he didn't defend himself. He replied, If a donkey kicked me, should I kick it back? Your silence communicates that their words do not matter. It shows restraint, discipline, and superiority. How to apply this? If someone insults you, don't react. Maintain eye contact for a second, then turn away, or continue what you were doing. Let them sit in their own frustration. Lesson 5. Use insults as training. Instead of fearing insults, see them as tests. Every insult is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional resilience. The Stoics believed that adversity is the best teacher. Epictetus advised, "Difficulties show what men are. Therefore, when an insult comes, say, 'This is a test for me.' Each time someone insults you, practice responding like a Stoic. Over time, you will build a mental fortress where no words can shake you." How to apply this? View insults as training sessions. Instead of reacting emotionally, see how long you can maintain your composure. Lesson 6. Turn insults into self-improvement. A true Stoic is always looking for opportunities to grow. If someone insults you, instead of dismissing it outright, ask yourself, is there any truth in this? If so, use it to your advantage. For example, if someone says, "You're always late," instead of getting defensive, acknowledge it and strive to improve your punctuality. Transform criticism into growth. How to apply this? Instead of being offended, treat insults as feedback. If there is some truth in them, use them to become a better version of yourself. Lesson 7. Control your ego. Ego is the enemy of inner peace. When we feel insulted, it is often our ego reacting. The Stoics teach us to detach from our egos and focus on what truly matters, our actions and character. Seneca wrote, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Don't let your ego magnify an insult into unnecessary suffering. How to apply this? When insulted, ask yourself, is my reaction serving me? If not, let it go. Lesson 8. Reframe the insult. Change the perspective. A Stoic never takes an insult at face value. Instead, he asks, is this really an insult? Or is it just someone else's opinion? If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against their accusations, but reply, "You obviously don't know me well enough, otherwise you would have said worse." Epictetus. By changing how you perceive insults, you neutralize their effect. If someone calls you weak, ask yourself, am I really weak? Or is this just their perception? If the insult is false, it doesn't matter. If it's true, then use it as fuel for growth. Lesson 9. Control the only thing that matters, your reaction. The Stoics taught that while you can't control what people say to you, you can always control how you react. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Instead of reacting emotionally, stay calm. A silent, composed response is more powerful than any counterattack. It makes the insulter feel powerless, as their words have failed to affect you. Lesson 10. Use humor to disarm your opponent. One of the most effective ways to handle an insult is to turn it into a joke, especially at your own expense. It catches your opponent off guard and makes you appear confident and unshaken. Imagine someone calls you dumb. Instead of defending yourself, laugh and say, "You have no idea. You should see me try to cook." If you make fun of yourself first, no one else can. By owning the insult, you take away its power. A man who can laugh at himself is impossible to humiliate. Lesson 11. Respond with a question. Make them explain. When someone insults you, instead of reacting emotionally, ask them, "What do you mean by that?" This forces them to either explain themselves, which weakens the insult, or backtrack entirely. It also shows that you are not easily provoked, making you appear stronger and more in control. A fool speaks because he must say something. A wise man speaks because he has something to say. By questioning the insult rather than reacting, you shift the power dynamic in your favor. Lesson 12. Master the art of indifference. Let it slide off. One of the greatest Stoic lessons is to remain indifferent to what doesn't serve you. When insulted, remind yourself, does this insult affect my purpose in life? Most of the time, the answer is no. So why waste energy on it? If a person gave your body to a stranger to do whatever they like, you'd be outraged. Yet you hand over your mind to anyone who insults you, letting them upset you. Epictetus. True strength is being completely unbothered by words. People will test you, but their words only have meaning if you give them importance. Lesson 13. Agree and amplify. Flip the script. Instead of resisting an insult, lean into it and exaggerate it. Example, someone says, "You're lazy." You respond, "Absolutely. I've worked hard to perfect my laziness." This confuses the insulter and makes them feel powerless. If you don't resist the insult, they can't win. No one can hurt you without your permission. Agreeing with an insult in an exaggerated way shows that you are not controlled by others' opinions. Lesson 14. See insults as a reflection of the insulter. A Stoic understands that an insult says more about the person insulting than about the one being insulted. If someone calls you a loser, it likely means they feel like one themselves. Instead of taking offense, remind yourself, this is about them, not me. When someone criticizes you, it's their character being revealed, not yours. Understanding this gives you emotional armor. Their words bounce off, and you remain untouchable. Lesson 15. Never play their game. Rise above it. Most people insult others to get a reaction. If you give them one, they win. But what if you just smile, nod, and walk away? The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. By refusing to engage, you show that their words are irrelevant. This frustrates them more than any comeback could. Lesson 16. Use silence as a weapon. Silence is one of the most powerful responses to an insult. Instead of defending yourself, just pause, look at them, and say nothing. This makes the insulter feel uncomfortable because they expected a reaction. Your silence sends a message. Your words mean nothing to me. Silence is the best reply to a fool. A calm, unbothered presence is more powerful than any argument. Lesson 17. Strengthen your mind. Make yourself uninsultable. The ultimate Stoic goal is to become so mentally strong that no insult can shake you. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. How do you do this? By building an identity so solid that others' opinions become irrelevant. If someone calls you stupid, but you know you're intelligent, why care? If someone calls you weak, but you train every day to be stronger, why be offended? True power comes from knowing who you are. When you fully own yourself, no insult can touch you. Final thoughts. Victory through control. A Stoic never lets another person dictate their emotions. True victory isn't proving the other person wrong. It's proving to yourself that you are unshakable. When you remain calm in the face of insults, you win. When you show no reaction, you win. When you see insults as a reflection of the other person rather than yourself, you win. And when you walk away without a second thought, you win completely. The next time someone tries to bring you down with their words, remember this. They have already lost. They are controlled by emotion, while you are in control of yourself. Now go forth and be unshakable.